They may be made for the small screen, but they've got big screen budgets.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most expensive TV shows ever made.
Hey, you son of a bitch.
Before we begin, we've got something big in the works, so be sure to tune in to WatchMojo Live on May 31st for special musical performances and much more. For this list, we're looking at shows that were made for TV and streaming services that had huge budgets. We're considering the total production budget, the reported salaries of the actors, and any costly rumored production issues, as well as the overall quality of the series.
What do you want?
Just a moment of your time.
Number 10. Boardwalk Empire.
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Period pieces tend to have higher budgets than their contemporary counterparts, and that's especially true when your show is on a prestigious network like HBO. This Prohibition-era gangster series, executive produced by Martin Scorsese and starring Steve Buscemi, is a prime example. HBO reportedly spent $18 million for the pilot of the series, and then an estimated $5 million per episode after that to recreate 1920s Atlantic City and Nucky Thompson's bootlegging empire.
If there really is a God, would he have given me this mug?
Not only that, the titular Boardwalk cost anywhere from $2 to $5 million to build in an abandoned Brooklyn parking garage. We'd say that's worth a drink or two.
Looking for a good time.
Number 9. Terra Nova.
Each one of you has taken a first step, just as I did 7 years ago, toward a new beginning.
Period pieces are one thing, but how do you properly budget for a show that takes place in both the future and the prehistoric past? This short-lived but high-cost Fox sci-fi show answered that question. The pilot, in which humans in the 22nd century travel back to the Cretaceous period to start new lives, cost $20 million. An unheard-of amount for a network TV production. Each additional episode reportedly cost $4 million, a full million more per episode than your average network drama. Much of these funds went to the sets and the extravagant dinosaur effects.
Hey, look at that thing.
Unfortunately, Fox's gamble did not pay off, and the overly ambitious series only lasted one 13-episode season.
Didn't think you had it in you.
Think again.
Number 8. The Walking Dead.
But you know about the dead people, right?
Yeah, I saw a lot of that.
You think all that zombie makeup comes cheap? The budget of AMC's smash hit has actually been a subject of contention with the production crew. Specifically, show developer Frank Darabont left due to AMC cutting the budget from $3.4 to $3 million an episode during season 2. Still, The Walking Dead remains one of the slickest produced shows on TV, with the money going to create some of the most creative undead effects ever seen, as well as retaining its cast, like lead Andrew Lincoln, who makes $1.44 million each season.
I want to show you the new world.
Number 7. Rome.
I am a Roman citizen of noble birth, and I order you to cut these ropes.
This was one of the first shows to prove that historical epics could work on the small screen, as long as networks are willing to spend accordingly. Not only did the show feature a massive cast, it also required incredibly detailed set recreations of ancient Roman locations, including Roman villas, slums, and the Forum.
Good day, Senator.
The daunting production costs resulted in HBO and the BBC splitting the budget of the show, which ended up costing $9 million an episode. Rome was a pioneer in putting epic stories on television, something that HBO would go on to explore with future shows.
You're swearing now that someday you'll destroy me.
Number 6. Friends. Big budgets aren't just the standard for sprawling prestige dramas. Sometimes if a show has a talented enough cast, much of its cash winds up committed to keeping them around. This was the predicament NBC found themselves in with this must-see TV staple.
Why? Why do bad things happen to good people?
As the 6 leads rose to popularity with the show, the cast maintained equal salaries, which, towards the end of the series, was a substantial sum. For the final 2 seasons, Aniston, Cox, Kudrow, LeBlanc, Perry, and Schwimmer were all getting paid $1 million per episode, jacking up the show's otherwise modest budget, and making Friends one of the most expensive sitcoms ever produced.
Okay, should we get some coffee?
Sure. Where?
Number 5. The Get Down.
I like you so much. I can hardly breathe. I like you so much. Feel like I got thunder and lightning inside me.
With a visual wonder like Baz Luhrmann at the helm of the show, you know it's going to be saddled with a Hollywood-level budget. Indeed, his Netflix project is one of the most expensive shows ever made, especially for a streaming service.
I hand you the magic, the mystery, the opening, Grasshopper.
The show's recreation of 1970s New York, as well as lavish musical numbers, have given the show a price tag of $10 million an episode, resulting in $120 million for the 12-episode first season, which is just $10 million less than Luhrmann's most expensive film, Australia.
The world's dying of 1,000 heart attacks. We heal them up 3 minutes at a time.
Although unconfirmed, it's been rumored that it frequently went over budget, with sources claiming that it climbed to $16 million per episode, or roughly $192 million total.
Yo, what you trying to be?
King. Yeah, I said it. I'm trying to be king.
Number 4, Marco Polo.
Holy oil from the pontiff who wishes to spread Christianity throughout my lands. Is this not the same pope who has called me the spawn of Satan?
Here's another Netflix original, though not one successful enough to justify the huge amounts of cash spent on it. The historical drama about its titular explorer required lavish sets and costumes to recreate the period setting of late 13th century China, which resulted in Netflix paying $90 million for the entire series, a huge number for any TV show. Unfortunately, the series debuted to middling reviews, and while it made it to a second season, Marco Polo's journey ended shortly after that. Thankfully for Netflix, this poor investment is more an exception than the rule. Number 3, ER.
I thought I was going to get some sleep tonight.
Well, don't count on that.
A medical drama seems like an unlikely candidate for such a list. But then again, few series have held the title of most watched series in the country, or included a young George Clooney.
It's like being disappointed in me, Mark. It validates the fact that you are the adult and I'm a screw-up.
In order to maintain high ratings and to keep their star player on board, NBC bumped the per-episode budget from $2 million to a whopping $13 million for seasons 4 through 6. The investment was later known by some as the $500 million blunder, costing NBC a whopping $440 million.
All right, squeeze in that oat egg as fast as you can.
Still, ER stayed in the top 5 in ratings during that time, though Clooney checked out at the end of the 5th.
Sir, I'm a doctor. I'm here to help you. Can you talk?
What the hell?
Okay, I'll take that as a yes.
Number 2, The Crown.
My name is Elizabeth.
And long live Queen Elizabeth.
It's only fitting that a show about the royal family ends up being jaw-droppingly expensive. Another Netflix period drama, The Crown had a budget estimated to be in the ballpark of $130 million, just for the first season of 10 episodes. If accurate, that makes it the most expensive TV show in history.
Oh, it's madness.
Once again, the massive budget comes as a result of incredible period detail, which includes such things as a realistic recreation of Buckingham Palace and roughly 20,000 costumes. Lucky for Netflix, the gamble paid off, as the show received strong reviews and viewership, earning itself the green light for season 2.
It's an oath that we both made and that we intend to keep.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
It's gonna work. It's happening. We're gonna get off of this island.
We'll celebrate when we're home.
Sir, I'm having a digestive crisis and must focus on suppressing its expression.
Roz was not only known for her producing prowess, but also for her warmth, her kindness, and her gentle spirit.
Number 1, Game of Thrones. Other shows may cost more, but there's no show on television that gets a better bang for its buck than HBO's epic fantasy drama. In season 1, it made do with a total estimated budget of between $50 and $60 million. But after receiving a budget increase for season 2's epic battle episode Blackwater, the price tag for the show steadily grew, with seasons 2 through 5 costing anywhere from $6 to $8 million an episode. By season 6, it was $10 million. The high costs are put to good use, though, as the show features incredible effects for elements like the White Walkers, dragons, and huge battle scenes, as well as a stellar cast.
I believe in second chances. I don't believe in third chances.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.